Hi, we are Steve and Jana Hooten, and we want to start off this video by saying thank you for all of your prayers and for your support the last 6.5 weeks. We have been overwhelmed by the love shown to us by all of you. Facebook has been a way for us to share our hearts and for us to journal what we are going through. And just thank you for letting us know how much you care and that you are praying. Your prayers is what's getting us through. We know that beyond a shadow of a doubt.
January 7th started out great for each one of us in our family. We were spread out in different places, and each one of us were involved in something exciting that day. Jana was at a Plexus event in Dallas. Emma had just landed in Florida with her grandfather, where she was scheduled to preach and was planning to look at a college while she was there. Allie, Sarah, and I were in Nacona, Texas for a weekend hunting trip with some friends. I was especially excited about this because it had been 12 years since Allie had gone hunting with me. It just wasn't her thing. Allie was tough as they come on the court or on the field, but wild animals and bugs were not her thing. We had big plans for that day. In fact, there's still firewood in the back of my truck that was meant for a massive campfire that evening. I was having a blast spending the time with my girls in the outdoors. At around 12:45 p.m. that day, all of our lives were changed forever. Allie, Sarah, and Tristan were struck from behind by a truck while riding on an ATV. Our day instantly turned to chaos. In a lot of ways, our days still are. The next several days were spent with Sarah in the hospital in Fort Worth, Texas. It is only by God's hand that Sarah and Tristan are still alive. It is a miracle that I saw with my very own eyes. In contrast, Allie's day was instantly glorious. She met her Savior, Jesus Christ, face to face. I've tried to imagine what that must have looked like. I picture, for some reason, Allie arriving in heaven that day and Jesus wrapping his arms around her to welcome her and then telling her to turn around and look. Watch what I'm about to do because of your faith in me.
Allie loved Jesus. She loved her family and she loved her school. Allie loved people. She loved friendships and she had a heart for missions. Allie loved to sing and play her guitar and her ukulele. And she had a desire to be a light for Jesus among her friends, most of all. Allie also loved sports. Basketball and volleyball were two of her favorites, but she played other sports as well. And when I think back to the first few days at the hospital, a lot of that is a blur for us. There's so many things we don't remember about that time. But there were moments that God gave us clarity in our thoughts. And one of those moments was when someone mentioned that we may want to have people donate to a good cause in lieu of flowers. Well, the Belize mission trip that Allie was a part of last year and was planning on going this coming year came to our minds first. And then a gym that will serve as a multi-purpose building for our school came to our minds next. Our girls have attended Wiley Preparatory Academy since 2012. It is a small Christian school that above all strives to lift up the name of Christ in all that they do. The school is our family. They have wrapped their arms around us and loved us during this difficult time. Well, one thing that we have needed for a while is our own gymnasium. We currently have to rent gyms all over the surrounding areas, and that's hard, as you can imagine, when you have a great sports program like we have. So it was always Allie's desire for her school to have their own gym.
Our desire is to get a gym built for Wiley Prep, and we feel that this is what Allie would want as well. Allie loved Wiley Prep, and a large part of who Allie was is because of the impact Wiley Prep had on her. Since that moment in the hospital, our dream has grown. We are now envisioning camps and conferences where the gospel of Jesus is shared, being held in that multi-purpose building. A foundation in Allie's name is in the works, and we are so excited to see where God will take it. We have spoke with the school board and shared our heart in this matter. We want God glorified through this first and foremost. We are nothing without God. Secondly, we want to honor Allie's life by continuing to share her story. We as a family are committed to do everything we can to see this happen, but we can't do this on our own. Allie was a team player. She realized there is strength in numbers, and we need your help.
We just come here today because we want to ask that each and every one of you would just consider joining us in raising money for Allie's gym. I believe that the money's already out there. We believe that. God owns everything, and so he can just provide the money with or without us. But please help us by sharing Allie's story with everyone you know. What we're asking you to do is simple. We're just asking that each of you just to consider donating $22. Allie's number on the court was 22, so we thought this amount would be fitting. It's super easy to do, and the link to the You Caring site is in this post. We want to thank all of you just for allowing us this time to share our hearts. And again, thank you for your prayers and your support shown to us over the last 6.5 weeks. Whether you're able to donate or not to this cause that's on our hearts, we ask that you keep us and our family in our prayers most of all, in your prayers most of all. This is a road that we wouldn't want anyone else to ever walk. It's a road we don't want to walk. We need God's help to get us through, and the prayers of God's people are what we need. So from the bottom of our hearts, we say thank you.